Hey guys, I'm Mombi. Welcome to Mompreneur Society. If you're like me, you've probably spent some time working on a business idea and not validated it. In my experience, I spent some time making templates, creating a great page and sales page for the product. And I thought I was good to go and then went on to do some marketing. And then waited for people to come to the website, but for a while all I had was crickets. And this was because I did not take time to validate the idea and I had to learn the hard way. And this is where you with a business idea should pause and consider some tips that I've put together. Maybe you already have a company. Maybe you've got a product or service that your customers are not buying. Perhaps you're struggling to find your best idea to pursue, or you've come up with something way too complicated. In this video, I'm going to share with you the simple framework on how to validate your business idea. How do you come up with the best idea? First, you have to know that there's a problem. Sometimes this problem could be one that you've had in the past and you want to create a solution for. Having this problem helps you understand your customers' mindsets and what they're struggling with. And the reality is, if it doesn't work with the customers, then you lose. So ask yourself, what problem are you solving? Business is basically about solving problems. What problem does my idea address? For example, in earlier years, we had to carry all these stacks of CDs to enjoy our favorite songs. But the iPod addressed this problem such that to enjoy our music, we didn't have to carry our CD cases all day. Another thing to help you come up with an idea is passion, which I talk about all the time. Do you enjoy your work? Do I enjoy my work? Now that you have your business ideas, are you going to enjoy or to be satisfied doing this day in and day out over and over, because this is something that's going to occupy you? At the end of the day, if you're not passionate about your idea, then you have to make sure that you find one that you're passionate about. Being passionate and loving what you do means that you'll be dealing with a clientele you love to serve as well. And this will make it a win-win situation because your customers will get to feel appreciated. Doing something you're passionate about and something that you enjoy to a certain degree will certainly keep you away from burnout and tiredness that is associated with working on the same thing day after day. Another very important thing to do if you want to bring your business idea to life is to target your idea to a specific audience. Speaking about specific areas, whether it's people you want to serve or what parts of the service that is meant for you, and what problems you really want to solve in your service or your product, that is really going to allow you to be more focused and narrow down your idea, which is a good thing because it's going to make you a specialist in your particular field of operation rather than being a general operator. It surely is important for businesses to do this, and I would highly recommend that this should be a must-do for new businesses. As for new businesses, since people don't know you just yet, being a specialist makes it easier for people to find you. It makes it easier for people to remember what it is that you're known for, what you specialize and have mastery in, and customers, including potential customers, will remember your brand. Whenever they have that particular problem that you've aligned yourself to solve, they will remember you. The key here is to be a specialist rather than a generalist, also known as finding your niche. I've done a video on how to find a niche, and you can find the link to the video above. As you target your audience, the way to validate an idea is to get someone to buy it. So how do you do that? The way you do that is to come up with the idea and then you figure out the people who are most likely to buy such a product. Then out of that group of people, carve out a secondary batch of people who are most likely to afford it. And then go ahead and carve out the people who have the authority to say yes or no. You have to carve out the audience, and once you've done that, get involved with them and show them what it is that you have to offer. This is what I've got, guys. I know you want it. I know you can afford it. I know that you have the authority to say yes or no. Do you want it? If you want to really build a business, you've got to start banging on that door theoretically, calling prospective clients every single day, and that is how you validate your idea. You can find the idea quickly, find those people, find out what kind of messaging they want, how they want to be communicated with. This could be sending emails. Some people like communication via telephone, while other people really hate it. You could test out some advertisements here and there. And these are just but some examples of ways to sell your idea. The essence here is to be in constant touch with your target audience. Next is get your feedback early. Talk about your idea with other people. This could be trusted friends, and get to explain your business idea in an elaborate manner so that others may have a clear picture of what you have in mind. And talking about feedback, you'll need to hear from people who have been there, people who have seen it all in business. And you not only have to hear from this person who necessarily encourages you and pushes you to go all the way and get it done, but you also need some devil advocate type who tell you that your idea is not a bed of roses. Things can go wrong if you do or don't do a couple of things. Tim Ferriss once said the hard choices are what we fear doing, asking, saying. These are the very often things that we mostly need to do. And the biggest challenges and problems we face will most likely never be solved with comfortable conversations, whether it's in your own head or with other people. The other kind of person who comes in when looking for feedback for your business idea is the person who listens to your idea and says, yes, that's possible. You can do it. And I think if you do A, B, C, and D, then it's highly likely that you'll attain your goal. So when getting feedback for your business idea, you will need someone who is telling you the things that you may not want to hear, and also that person who will encourage you. The next step is prototyping. Listen to most entrepreneurs who have initially had a failed business idea, and they will acknowledge that the reason for failing is having a wrong approach to building a product or service. The focus shouldn't be on executing the perfect plan, but should be on learning which of your efforts are valuable to the end user in the least amount of time. Create a prototype or mini version of your idea, or what is known as a minimal viable product, or MVP. An MVP is a minimal amount of effort that is used to test specific assumptions regarding the value of an idea. You start by breaking down your product to its basic parts to get it up and running, produce it, and then you get back to your customers and get them to pre-buy it. The same applies to services, whereby you break down your services as simply as possible, bring it to the open and get back to the customers that you talk to. And anyone whom you think is interested, then making your offer at probably a discounted cost. Since you have already targeted your specific audience for your brand, then resolved to address their needs, putting a clickable prototype in front of the customers will make them resonate with you and join you in your pilot program. Execution definitely matters a lot. The idea matters a lot, but timing might matter even more. And the best way to assess timing is to really look at whether consumers are really ready for what you have to offer them. The story of Zappos is a great example on how to conduct an MVP test. Before Zappos became a multi-billion-dollar online shoe company, the founder, Nick Swinmurn, tested the assumption that customers were willing to buy shoes online. And instead of building a website and collecting a large inventory of shoes, Swinmurn approached local shoe stores, took pictures of their inventory and posted the pictures on a simple website. And then when a customer clicked on the buy button under the image of a shoe, he'd go back to the store, purchase the shoe at full price, and then go to the post office and ship the shoe to the customer. Eventually, Swinmurn was unable to keep up with the number of online shoes orders, and at that point he knew that his online shoe company was a good idea. Once he validated his idea, he was confident to spend his time and money hiring a team and collecting an inventory of shoes. By starting with a manual and labor-intensive process that was quick and cheap to set up, instead of trying to bring the vision of an online store company to life by buying a warehouse and automating a system of delivery, he had just enough to test his assumption and validate his business idea. The power of this kind of test is that you build something in order to measure actual customer behavior by getting target customers to make orders. This is definitely more effective than sending out surveys or gathering opinions or simply trusting your gut and going for it. Finally, you will certainly want to look at certain trends. You can start your validation with Google Trends to see the trends that when people search for a solution that your business idea will produce for them. Google Trend is based on Google search and shows how often a particular search item is used by real people. You should also look at what is going on nowadays as far as social media is concerned. It's advisable to get a social media consultant since there are always new trends and you might need someone to tell you what to look for. Consulting a specialist will widen the scope of popularizing your brand through various tools that are available online. So in summary, to validate your idea, there are a few things to note. Your idea should be solving a problem that your customers have. Find something you're passionate about. Sometimes passion can develop after working on something. And in this case, find that thing that energizes you and you look forward to doing. Then target your idea to a specific audience. Create a minimum viable product or MVP. And finally, look at trends that relate to your idea. Idea validation is done to minimize the risk of implementing ideas that no one wants or is not willing to pay for. The purpose of idea validation is to make sure that your product or business idea has potential and the most critical assumptions regarding your idea are valid. The point is to find the fastest and cheapest way to test your assumptions so that you can decide whether you're going to proceed with the idea or pivot. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you want to be notified of any future posts.